All right. We are going to talk about the number one reason you are not getting hired for your tech job. And it's probably going to be for a reason that you wouldn't even consider. I'm not going to delay this. I'm just going to lay it out all on the line right now. I'm going to tell you the truth. It may not be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. The reason why you are not able to get a tech job is because you are too hyper-focused on tech certifications. Now, I know that might come as a shocker. You're like, but the more tech certifications I have, the better off I am. Listen, I make a lot of content, and as a result, I get a lot of feedback, I get a lot of comments, and I get a lot of direct messages. And the one recurring theme, the one thing that's been trending here lately, I see a lot of people, they say, hey, Greg, I got a bunch of certifications, but no one's calling me back. Or I've applied for all these tech jobs, and I'm just not having any luck. Listen, if you hyper-focus on these technical certifications, there's so much else that you need to make sure you address beyond these certifications. Now, I know it feels good to have a bunch of technical certifications. I like to see those certificates up on the wall as well, but there's so much more to it than just those certifications. So I'm going to walk you through some additional things you need to think about beyond just the technical certifications that when you think about these collectively are going to give you a lot better chance to get a tech job. You know, I've been thinking about making this video a long time. I had a bunch of time to think about it, and the solution really comes in 3 steps. Now, the first part of the solution may confuse you at first, but just bear with me while I explain. The first thing that it is important is certifications. Now, you're probably saying, oh, wait a minute, you just said the reason I'm not getting a tech job is because I'm focused on certifications. But there's a difference. There's a difference in all you have is certifications between that and you have technical certifications in addition to the other 2 items I'm going to mention. So yes, technical certifications are important, but in and of themselves, by themselves, it's not enough. So the great thing about certifications when you pursue them appropriately is that a certification is not just about putting a certificate on the wall. A tech cert it gives you the framework and the guide to work within to be able to know what it is you're going after. Typically, a tech certification will have an exam blueprint or an exam guide. You will look at the exam guide and it has various domains, tasks, and objectives of things you need to learn in that particular certification. And when you put yourself through those paces, through that curriculum, and do the things you need to do, and make sure that not only when you pass that technical certification exam and get the certification, but you can actually do all the things that you learned within the certification. This brings me to my second point. After you've gotten the technical certification, the work continues. You need to make sure you're getting hands-on experience. I cannot stress this enough. Hands-on experience is extremely important. Now, ideally, what you're doing while you're getting that certification is in parallel, you are also getting the hands-on experience as you're studying. Hands-on experience cements all the knowledge, theoretical knowledge that you've learned from the technical certification and puts it into practice. Because remember, when you actually get a real world job, there's not going to be a certification exam. You're not going to be getting paid to answer questions on a certification exam. You're going to need to be focused on how to be a problem solver, how to be hands-on, how to be not only tactical, but strategic, and it also exhibit critical thinking processes. And this type of experience is only experience that can be gained by getting hands-on experience. Now, the third and final thing that you probably haven't been doing which is critically important. Now, I see very, very few people doing this. As a matter of fact, of the three things that I will have mentioned here total, number 3 is probably the one I see people do the least. So the first one is you get the certifications. Now, you're already doing that, or at least you should be. The second part, I told you need to get those hands-on experience and how important that is. But guess what? After you've gotten those two things, you need to let people know who you are and what your capabilities are. Imagine yourself if you were a company and you had just developed this amazing new product, but the marketing budget for that product was zero. How in the world would people be able to find out what that product was? In this case, you are not only the company, you are the product, you are the business, and you are asking another company to hire you to solve their problems. What if they don't know who you are? What if they don't know your capabilities? You're just another resume in the stack. You need to be able to stand above and stand out from the crowd. Well, how do you do that? The way you do that is you need to leverage the power of social media to do so. Now, probably my best recommendation from a professional standpoint, if you haven't already, is to establish your presence on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the #1 professional network. This is where the businesses live. This is where future employers live. This is where the people that work at the companies where you want to work live. So it is very important to network with people. And not only that, but I want to make sure that you establish your profile. Have an amazing LinkedIn profile, a great headline, a great About Me section. List your accomplishments, the areas you have worked. But don't make the mistake and stop there. I want you to actively post about yourself, what you're working on. Don't just talk about the wins. I also want you to talk about the losses as well as the challenge. And I don't want you to post on LinkedIn only when you've gotten your certification or something like that. I want you to take people through your journey. Announce on LinkedIn and say, you know what? I'm getting ready to start my career in tech. I'm getting ready to make my attempt to break into tech. And the first certification I'm going to go after is my AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner, for example. Make an announcement and then write posts or do videos and post them up that carry people and walk people through that journey. Then the great news is when you get that certification, not only post about how you got that certification, but talk about your experience, what you learned. Also, hands-on labs that you work on. You do like a screen share and take a video of you walking through a lab and you narrating it or doing a voiceover about what you're working on. Don't just tell people you're open to work, show them your work. The whole idea with establishing a presence on social media, LinkedIn in this case, is to eliminate you from just applying blindly to a bunch of jobs and hoping and crossing your fingers that somebody's going to reach back out to you. On LinkedIn, when you're active and you're actively demonstrating what you can do, a lot of people see that because LinkedIn has a lot of organic reach. And one day, the right eyes are going to see what you're working on, and a recruiter is going to reach out to you and present potential job or job opportunities that you might be a fit for. And it's a great way to be proactive and take your career in your hands. So as we end today's discussion, I really want you to do a self-assessment on yourself. Don't get me wrong. I love technical certifications, but the winning formula is technical certifications in combination with hands-on experience, in combination with building your personal brand and letting the world know who you are and what you're capable of. And the way you do that is by leveraging the power of social media. If you do these 3 things, this is going to give you a much better chance when compared to other candidates for positions. I wish you nothing but the best, and I'll see you in the next video.